If you're struggling to lose weight, to tone up despite starting a new diet, you're eating healthier, you're eating cleaner, organics, more water, more meals, everything looks much better, but you're still not losing weight, even with exercise. And this is because you're probably missing the most important pillar of the three pillars we spoke about in the past episode, the fitness pillars. And if you don't fix that as soon as possible, you will continue losing weight until eventually maybe quit because you're fed up on not having results.
What is this pillar?
This pillar is calorie control.
Calorie control.
This is the most important factor when it comes to weight loss, toning up. And it's that important that you can only lose weight without any exercise if you're tracking your calories properly.
Well, this is very difficult to track for me, for example. I think when I came to America, I saw that everything you have to eat with a kind of sauce, we call it a dressing.
Which is good.
Which is amazing. It's tastier, especially salads. Sometimes the salad is kind of no funny. You put a little of dressing, it makes everything so good, so tasty. But the high calories on it, it's just the amount of calories on those dressings are insane. That happened with me. I was eating super healthy. I was eating organic. I was eating, like you say, cleaner. And even so, my weight wasn't going down. Say, my God, what is happening? What is happening?
Because everything adds calories. And if you don't control at least most of your meals, the main meal plus everything else you're adding, you're probably going to be exceeding what you need to lose weight. So this is what this episode is about. I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to explain you guys how to use an easy way to track calories different than the conventional methods, apps, websites, books, and other methods that are good, but often inconvenient. So I'm going to show you guys a more convenient and easier way to do that. And Nanda, why you and other moms don't continue a little more about that part of the adding invisible calories? What do you think is the number one reason why moms don't lose weight, even though they are eating healthy?
I think it's this little hidden calories that we have during the day. Like I said, the dressings, the sauces, sometimes a little gum that we like, I don't know, at least at the beginning, gums and some kind of little 0-calorie sweets were part of my day. And I would kind of abuse of them because they would help me to control my anger, control my hunger, both of them. Okay, anger because I could not eat. So maybe those little details that we never get acquainted with. For example, soda. Some of them are 0-calorie, but some of them are like 5, 10 calories.
Yeah, when you see no added sugar, that means no more sugar than they usually add.
Exactly.
Okay, that doesn't mean that there is no sugar. It's not like there is no an extra amount of sugar of what sodas usually have.
And I think an important concept that we also have to explore today is quality versus quantity, right? Sometimes the quality is being amazing. You're getting organics, you're meal prepping, you're getting all the things that you have never had before.
Which, of course, is going to be much better than not eating healthy.
Definitely, yes. But there is the other factor about quantity, right? Many moms on my circle of moms, even before getting pregnant, they were always say, wow, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm eating healthy. I'm eating even more salads, more vegetables. I'm very clean on my diet. And
the weight is not coming down.
No, always coming down, but a very little, like insignificant amount. And say, we have to see the quantity of this food.
Yeah.
We are not talking about for you to eat a pound of like salad, It's still salad, but it's a pound, right?
So, and what are the available tools women, moms usually use to try to track the calories? We have apps, we have books,
Websites.
Websites. You have
The label reading and
the label reading.
Yeah.
There are multiple ways. Are there any of those ways that you already use to track your calories in the past before we started using our method, the list of food substitution?
Definitely the label reading. This was, I think everybody does that. I just, as a main source of calories, like how many calories I'm having a day. And I had also an app that where I could take a picture of the plate, whatever I was about to eat, and they will give me some estimative of how many calories was in it. But this, I don't think all of those are accurate as a reading label. But honestly,
Yeah.
like read label of every single thing you're eating, it's so complicated.
About those two. So labels and apps. The problem of the labels is that sometimes they lie. You go to restaurants or fast food chain restaurants, and they put an amount that everything separately. For example, the burger is 300 calories, plus the sauce is this amount, and the soda is this. Everything separate, and then you will probably not make all this account while you're having a burger in McDonald's.
No, especially
when you're going out, right?
Especially if you go to some fast food restaurants, for example, under the meal, you're gonna see the amount of calories
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I'm saying.
range of one.
Yeah.
So you're never gonna go for the lowest range. Otherwise, you're not gonna eat absolutely anything.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they usually add the number, but not of the whole meal,
Yeah,
but
of
everything
course.
separately. So it gets complicated for a person to make the calculate while you're there.
Yeah.
Ideally, you will have the combination of all the foods that you want to eat. And okay, this meal with the burger, the fries, and the soda and everything is sorry, this amount of calories. So it's not like that. So it's a lot of work. The second method you mentioned is apps. The problem with the apps is, again, it's much better than not using it. But when you take a photo, okay, and let's say you're about to have a pasta, right? And you're taking a photo of a pasta, you don't know how it was prepared. So it's hard to know exactly. They have the standard preparation. So it's saying 300 calories for a plate, or whatever amount of whatever number of calories in there, but it's usually not accurate. Okay, it gives you a reference, but it's not accurate. So if you really want to track, now that you know that calories is the number one factor to lose weight, to get in shape, much more important than exercise, you want to do it accurately. So with the apps, you won't have this, because it's not the preparation, the exactly preparation you're having. Okay, so this is the main problem with the two sources you mentioned, labels and apps. They are complicated, kind of inconvenient, and not 100% accurate.
Yeah, because if you think about labeling, if you buy a pasta, the what is inside is completely raw, right? So the label reading is about what is the calories? Is after prepared? It's still raw. It's completely. If you think about it, if you read everything, all labels before preparing, after
it's
preparing,
a lot of work.
I know, no, it's
It's a lot of work. So, and what happens when you keep trying and you keep trying to eat healthy? You're doing your best and you're not seeing results, and you continue, you keep going, and all. I've seen this a few times with former clients. You give up.
Definitely.
Because
this happens with me many times.
Whenever you're putting some effort on something, you want to see the return.
Yeah.
Right? If you're studying a language, you want to be able to speak. So if you stay 2 years studying, you're not speaking, you get disencouraged and you stop studying. The same thing with fitness. If you're trying to lose weight, you're making an effort, trying to avoid certain things and eat more other things that you consider are better, and you're not seeing any result, you run the risk of giving up. Okay, and I've seen this with people exercising hard and eating healthy, not seeing results, and know what?
You had many clients in this position. You have commented with me wow, they work out so hard. I know they are following the diet, like not 100%, but they are doing.
Yeah, I remember one of my one of the clients going through that situation. He will even send me photos of his meals, and everything pretty healthy, but most of the time he eating out, so he wouldn't be able to track calories, to track anything, eating different places, because he was always on business meetings in different places, cities, and he never tracked. He always thought only eating healthy would be enough, and he was training very well, hard, sometimes even running, and still not losing weight.
Yeah.
I think he must have lost probably 5 pounds in a year or something, which is pretty much nothing if you're doing everything right, because you should be able to lose 5 pounds in a month, not in a year. So he was eating healthy, running, doing everything correct, no losing weight. So I have other examples, but that's no, I'm not going to say his name, of course, in here, but that's what it happens. Okay. So what would you do instead of calculating everything? Okay, what is the easiest way to do it? It's the way that you've been doing, okay, which is the list of food substitution. And this is what I'm gonna instruct you guys to create your own list with the foods you eat in a regular basis. Explain the list, how it works. Okay, the theory behind the list is that everything in the list in the same group will have the same number of calories. So you choose from the different groups. I have to have X amount of portions from this group, from that group, and whatever you choose will have the same amount of portions, because you previously calculated those portions to have the same number of calories. So you will do it once with the food you usually have in your regular base, and you won't have to do it anymore. You will only control portions.
So these two that we are talking about here is something that we have in our program, in our protocol. But doesn't mean that you cannot do it by yourself. This is what we're going to explain how to do it. It works on the fact of I don't have to worry about calories. So no more label reading, no more going to apps and find out how many calories certain amount of food has. It's everything divided by portions. So every time that I go for a new diet plan, you would give me, okay, Fernando, for you to lose weight or maintain this weight that you are on, you need the XYZ amount of calories.
Once you have the proper eating plan, you don't have to worry about that. Tell them, for example, about your breakfast.
Okay, my breakfast is half portion of cereal. What means it's carbohydrate sources. I say cereal because it's the name of the group. But in this group are cereal, grains, beans, vegetables, fruits. What else I have in there?
Rice.
It's like
pasta.
it's everything that we know as a main source of carbohydrate.
Mainly carbohydrate sources.
Yes.
It doesn't mean there is no protein in there, vitamins, minerals, healthy fat, and other things, but it's mainly carbohydrate source.
So I have half a portion of this group. I have a portion of dairy and half portion of fat source. So the dairy source, it's everything that you know as a dairy, right? There is also some other vegetable, kind of fruit, vegetable kind of milk, but this is not what is this for. And the fat source would go like avocados, some nuts, oils. This is the part. So whatever I am okay of eating at that time, usually is a bread, milk or cheese, and some avocado. I always make kind of avocado toast. So it's not a food restriction, because this is also something that we have to demystify here. Food restriction is something, right?
Food control is another thing.
This is when we sign on, when we start saying about now you need to restrict your calories, people start thinking, I need to restrict food, which is something different, right? I can eat pretty much whatever I want. I just need to stick with the portion.
So our version is more elaborated. There are a few different groups,
Of course.
but you can create a simplified version of that, which is only two groups. One with mainly carbohydrate sources, and the second one with protein sources. That's it.
And they are going to build their own one.
Yeah.
How many calories we should aim for? I want to build my carbohydrate source and my protein source. How many calories should I have as a portion control?
Great question. So group number 1, carbohydrate sources. Vegetables, fruits, grains, beans, everything is carbohydrate source. You can establish as 150 calories for the portion of foods that are going to be included in that group. 150 calories, okay? For the group number 2, protein sources, meats, eggs. You can even include initially dairy, yogurt, cheese, okay? Technically, it's not the same thing. You will create a different group because those kind of foods, they are not only protein source. There is more carbohydrate in there. But initially, you can just include everything in the same group.
This is just the beginning. Just the beginning.
This is starting point, because what you want is to be able to control your calories in an easy way. By creating those two groups, you will be able to do that. So in the second group is meats, eggs, dairies, and milk. Okay, and the number of calories for that group portion will be 190 calories.
Okay, so I have 150 for carbohydrate source, 190 for protein.
190 calories.
And where is where can I get this information?
So you build that list and those groups with the food you usually eat. So you don't need to know how much is 150 calories of strawberry if you don't eat strawberry on your regular basis.
Definitely.
You don't need to know how much is 190 calories of lobster if you don't eat seafood. Okay, you will only include the things that you eat in the regular basis. So, for example, I eat chicken, eggs. That's what I usually eat, and whey protein. So my protein sources group will have whey protein, eggs, and chicken. That's it. You will include whatever you want. For carbohydrate sources, I usually for lunch and dinner I eat rice, pasta, sweet potato, white potato,
vegetables,
right?
Which is like your carrots,
tomato, cabbage. So those are the foods that I will include in my group. Okay, so you see, it's not a crazy thing to do. I have to calculate a lot of things. Only a few different groups. Then how do you know how much food you have to eat for each of those food to reach the 150 and 190 calories? You can use any website. Okay, you can even use a book. But what I recommend, what I've been using, and I'm not sponsored by that website or anything like that. Okay, it was just the first one that I found, which is free and it's easy to use. I believe anyone is able to go in there and do the same thing. Okay, it's called My Net Diary. My Net Diary.
That thing is so easy to use.
MyNetDiary.com. It's a green and color brand website and everything. It's super easy to find. My Net Diary.
Yes.
Okay, so you go there. There is an option food search. So to type the food that I'm gonna explain only with one. You're gonna do the same with all the different options. Let's say banana. You go there, you put in the food search banana, and then it's going to show you the photo and all the information about banana.
And it came different kind of banana, right? Banana pudding.
Yeah, you select the one you want to eat.
It's the banana, guys. Okay.
Yeah, and then you put that. You can select. You can use in grams or ounces, tablespoons, units, or whatever way you want to measure, because you need to measure the food, right? So let's say in units, 1, 2, 3 bananas. You put in there 1 banana, and then it gives you 75 calories. Okay, I have to put it more. A banana and a half, 90 something. 2 bananas, 150 calories. There you have it.
Okay.
That's it.
Interesting.
Okay, so you put the food in there, in the food search, and you keep testing there with different numbers of spoons, grams, ounces, whatever, until you reach the 150 calories in the case of the carbohydrate sources. You will do the same thing for all the different options.
So the good part on this tool is that you don't need to care about calories after you find the portion. That's it.
Yeah, you have to do it once.
Okay,
To
obviously.
find how
Yes.
many spoons, units, or whatever to achieve that number. But once you have it in your list,
That's it. You don't need to worry about anymore.
you just need, for example, I need to have in my breakfast 2 portions of grains, which is 300 calories. Okay, 150 multiplied 2. So you know that okay, 1 portion is 2 bananas. Two portions is 4 bananas in this case.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's 4 bananas is 300 calories. The same thing for all of them. As you keep making the calculation, everything, you will see that it's much easier than it seems. Okay, so that's the easiest way you can calculate without keep looking at those numbers all the time, and you keep tracking until you find how many calories you need to lose weight.
Of course. So this is most of for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to us. I hope you can build your own list, you start to using it, and you're gonna see how easy, practical is going to be your life.
If you follow us on social media, 20 Minute Fit Mom on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you will find videos of Nanda portioning her food, using the list, and you will see that it's very, very convenient. At first, as everything, you might find maybe a little confusing. I don't think so. But you will find a lot of practical information there on our social media. So I strongly recommend you guys follow us in there.
Thank you for listening. See you next episode.
Bye-bye, guys.